Hey girlfriends, how are you? I am in my car studio with Kristina Johnson. We're having some brave convos on the road. Okay, just know we're parked, we're safe. We're not actually driving, but this kind of reminds me, and I don't even remember the movie exactly, but Thelma and Louise.
Oh, for sure.
You know, and they're driving and they're having their conversation, and that's what it kind of reminds me of, and your hair's blowing in the wind. But you know, I wanted to bring Kristina on today because she has been one of our authors at Faith and our Being Brave book that you can still get on Amazon. And your story was so impactful, but the thing that is so interesting, and even when you came and spoke at our book launch, you were walking through another story. And girlfriends, we have a story. We, kind of get through the story. I kind of see how it goes is when we have a story and we learn the lessons from it, and then it can be impactful because we've learned the lessons, and that's when it gives the hope. But then when you're also going through another major story, so is it okay to talk about it?
Absolutely.
So Kristina also, actually during our book launch, you were recovering from breast cancer surgery.
I had a major surgery just about 4 weeks before that.
Yeah. And I mean, that's life-changing. Major. I mean, your identity, all those things you have to go through. But I think, Kristina, and the reason I wanted to bring you on today, because you said something the other day. You said, what are the lessons I need to learn? And that really touched me because I've seen you walk through some major life challenges and transitions. And even though, you have to feel the feels and all those things, you still have this incredible attitude. It's like, but wait a second, what am I supposed to learn from this?
The other day, I will admit, my best friend came to pick me up, and I had a pretty rough week last week, and I got in the car and looked at her, and I just started bawling.
Yeah.
And I said to her, I'm only going to say this to you, Lori, once. And I said, why? Why me? I said, life is not fair. And then you move on. But it's okay to feel it and to say it.
Yeah. I mean, you have to feel those feelings because otherwise they just get squished down.
Yes.
So we're going to walk the ladies through just a little bit. So they can go read your story, and it's all about your leg and a surgery that went sideways, and the forgiveness that came out of that, and that was the lesson.
Yes.
And then you walk into breast cancer, and not only breast cancer. Then didn't you also have other surgeries? Didn't you have a hysterectomy?
Yep.
And then you fell, and now you were just in a car accident.
Yes, I was.
And
you just have to laugh.
I mean, sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, I don't mean to laugh, but it's so many things. And girls, who else relates? You go through a big thing, and then a whole bunch of other big things happen, and you think, well, wait, I only need one to learn a lesson. Did I really need to have this many things? And what do you feel has come out of it the most sitting here where you are today?
I think I've always been a very empathetic person, but I see other people struggling, and they may not show that they are, but I can see it. I can feel it, I can see it, and I just try to lead by example. And maybe that's, I've had so many other people lead me through the breast cancer journey. And so I remember, my friend telling me, in 1 year, you're going to be sitting where I am helping somebody else. And she was right. She was right. I helped a newly diagnosed breast cancer patient. And I'm thinking to myself, how am I going to talk to her about the journey when it's so fresh and new for me? Because I don't really talk about it all that much. I just go through the motions. I keep working and do the next surgery that the doctor tells me I need to do, or whatever I need to do. But I was really nervous about talking to her, but I felt amazing. And my friend last year, 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, was right. I was sitting where she was sitting.
And that's the lesson learned. Oh my gosh, girlfriends, to be able to take your story and help someone else. That's what it's all about. It's that little nugget of hope. And you know how much she probably appreciated that? That somebody could understand the feelings that she was going through, to validate her emotions. I mean, just think of all the things as you walk through breast cancer. I mean, I was thinking about it, it's like, it's not just the physical and the, walking through surgery and stuff. I mean, it's part of your identity.
I've said that from day one. It's very difficult looking in the mirror. Mm-hmm. It's a roller coaster because, you go through the initial, I had double mastectomy, and I got used to seeing myself that way. And then I decided to do reconstruction several months after that. And then I had the expanders in, and it's just this wave of roller coaster is the best way I can describe it. You get used to seeing yourself one way, and then it just changes. And now I look in the mirror, which I try not to, but I see all these scars. But I've come so far. Yeah. I've come so far. I didn't think after the initial surgery, I remember telling my mom and my best friend in the hospital, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can do this. And I literally had a meltdown. I don't know that my mom really, or Lori, saw me that way ever. And I think they were kind of like, shocked. But here we are.
Here we are. And so what do you feel like as you see yourself physically changing? What changed inside? What's that thing that you maybe had to overcome and go, I'm all right?
I think accepting the changes and just rolling with it, because nobody prepares you for the journey for breast cancer, whether or not you decide to get reconstruction or not. And I just roll with the punches. The doctor, you have to learn trust. The plastic surgeon, like, okay, this is what we need to do. This is the next step. And it's really hard. So now I just go to my follow-ups and, okay, what do we do next? It's trust. And I have a really hard time with trust, but I trust him.
Yeah, and you know what I had noticed, because I've seen you along this journey, some of the things I've seen in you is discernment. When you were faced with, even sometimes when the doctor didn't say something very, very nice, that you had to use your discernment and advocate for yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
And I saw you stand, I was like, no, that's not right. That's not what I'm going to do. And to tap into those strengths within yourself, did you realize you had all those strengths?
Honestly, no.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, every day is a gift. I just live one day at a time, and I look back and it's not that long ago, but it seems a lifetime ago, because I would never have guessed I would be where I am today.
Yeah.
Nobody, like I said, nobody prepares you. It's a big roller coaster.
Yeah. So what would you say to somebody who's maybe facing a really big challenge, and a challenge, maybe it's breast cancer, something that really maybe addresses that might change your identity that you have always known. I mean, and even walking through a divorce or something too. You were identified as a mom. You had all these roles. You were in this box, and your wife box, and all these different things. And it takes you almost have to create this new identity. And so what would you say to a woman that's maybe kind of in that spot?
I think a lot of my life, I've always worried about what people thought. Oh, what if I choose this? Am I going to upset this person? I didn't do reconstruction right away. And I know some people in my life, friends and whatnot, were hoping that I would choose that. But I had to come to that conclusion myself in my timing. Do what's best for you. And those who love you and are truly there for you will be there for you, no matter what you choose. And there have been times where I've kind of thought, maybe I shouldn't have done the reconstruction, because it's a lot. I've had 7 surgeries in 17 months, and I think I have at least one more, maybe this year, but one day at a time. Yeah. Some days it's just an hour at a time. Last week, I got in the car accident and I was a hot mess, and I'm thinking, okay, but I made a promise to myself, if this ended up being breast cancer, I would get the car that I wanted. And obviously somebody else had sooner timing than I wanted, but it's okay. Everything happens for a reason.
Oh,
everything.
Yes. So now you're going to go get I'm
going to get my white Toyota 4Runner. Not a brand new one, guys, because the prices of cars are outrageous.
Yeah.
But, it's not in our timing. Like I said
Yeah.
before to you, we don't get to choose our path or our journey, but we can choose how we walk it.
Absolutely. Wow. Wow. And you said something, and I meant to grab this. So, girls, I'm just going to reach back in my little magic bag here because we have, and Kristina hasn't even seen this yet, so it's kind of fun. So we're going to end on a note because we're putting together here, Fave. It's called Celebrating Being Everyday Brave. It's a digital magazine, and Kristina's going to be in it. And she knows it. I mean, we've been working on this, but you haven't actually seen what it actually looks like in paper, paper form. But the reason you said something that really goes right along with what your contribution to the magazine. And it was about other women coming alongside of you. And your contribution is called A Conversation with a Friend. Look at you, how cute you are. Girls, it's so fun. And Kristina developed and I developed this it's a little conversation. So when the digital magazine comes out, you'll be able to she walks you right through a little conversation with her. It's so sweet. Which she asks you some questions and you can just answer, you can print this off. It'll be a PDF. And so you can print off and have so whenever you need to have a conversation with Christine and just need a friend there and you're maybe by yourself and you can't get a hold of anybody on the phone, you can just pull this out and have a little conversation. We walk you right through it. And then there's some little reminders of, just little truths about, to remind yourself about. Okay, I'm totally tripping on my words here. But it says, it's okay not to have it all figured out. You don't have to be strong all the time. Your story matters. You're allowed to feel it all, and you're doing better than you think. So it's a little conversation. I'm just so thrilled that you've come alongside of us. This isn't, like you were saying, you didn't know that you were going to be able to maybe help another friend. And here's just another way she's stepping out and doing just that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Girls, we're just having some fun. I would love if you would love to come in and have a conversation. We're doing some brave conversations, or if you have a story, you can go to favelifestyles.app and write your story. We pared it down. There's 14 questions now. It used to be 16. And we'll lead you right through your story. And then I'm going to be choosing some of those stories to go onto our new podcast. That's going to be launching in July. And so we just have all kinds of fun things. And our magazine's going to be launching also in July. So you'll be able to have a conversation with Christine. And Kristina, I hear I'm saying your name wrong.
That's okay.
Did I say it wrong?
Forgiveness, right?
I'm like, I'm giving Kristina a whole new name. I'm like, where did I come up with that? I don't know. Anyway, but it's right there, Kristina Johnson. Yeah, so much fun, and thank you for allowing me to say your name.
Of course.
And we'll just laugh and yes, tripping on our words too. No worries. But girls, I want you to know that you matter. That you are not just your story. I want you to feel celebrated. I want you to feel that little bit of special, and that's what we're doing here: having conversations, validating our emotions, and validating our experiences, so you know that you're celebrated.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
There we go. All right, girlfriends, have a great day.
Have a good day.